कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजना यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरिनाम संकीर्तनम की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती भक्ति भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमपदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरतुषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So we are reading today from Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 4th chapter, text number 18. शैलद्रोणिभिराक्रीडम् सर्वर्तुषु गुणान्द्रुमा ददारलोकपालानाम् एक एव पृथक् गुणान्। शैलद्रोणिभिराक्रीडम् सर्वर्तुषु गुणान्द्रुमा ददारलोकपालानाम् एकेव पृथक् गुणान्। शैलद्रोणिभिराक्रीडम् सर्वर्तुषु गुणान्द्रुमा ददारलोकपालानाम् एक एव पृथक् गुणान्। Vaishnavis. Sarvatashu gunandrama lokapalanam eka eva pritaggunam pritaggunam Shailadronibhya kridam Sarvartushu gunandruma Dadara lokapalanam Eka eva pritaggunan. This is our movement. We have children also chanting the Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada made such a wonderful place. Word to word translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shaila, the hills and mountains. Dronibi, with the valleys between them. Akridam, pleasure grounds for Hiranyakashipu. Sarva, all. Ritushu, in the seasons of the year. Gunan, different qualities. Fruits and flowers. Druma, the plants and trees. Dadara, executed. Lokapalanam, of the other demigods, in charge of different departments of natural activity. Ekaha, alone. Eva, indeed. Prithak, different. Gunan, qualities. Translation. The valleys between the mountains became fields of pleasure for Hiranyakashipu, by whose influence all the trees and plants produce fruits and flowers profusely in all seasons. The qualities of pouring water, drying and burning, which are all qualities of the three departmental heads of the universe, namely Indra, Vayu and Agni, were all directed by Hiranyakashipu alone, without assistance from the demigods. Purport. It is said in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, Tejo Varimidam Yatha Vinimaya. This material world is conducted by fire, water and earth, which combine and take shape. Here it is mentioned that the three modes of nature, Prithak Gunan, act under the direction of different demigods. For example, King Indra is in charge of pouring water, the demigod Vayu controls the air, dries up the water, whereas the demigod controlling fire burns everything. Hiranyakashipu, however, by dint of his austere performance of mystic yoga, became so powerful that he alone took charge of everything without assistance from the demigods. Hare Krishna. So I seek the blessings of all the symbol Vaishnavas to speak something in line with the parampara, according to my own level of realization, to please all the Vaishnavas, to please the deities, Shishi Radha Vrindavan Chandra and all, and also for my own purification. So this is a very important section of Srimad Bhagavatam. As yesterday Ramchandra Prabhu was sharing, that so many chapters are dedicated to Prahlad Maharaj. In fact, it's almost the whole canto of seventh canto. And Srila Prabhupada also spoke very, very extensively, many lectures on this particular section of Bhagavatam. So it's a very vital one. And the theme that is coming in this particular section is how when Hiranyakashipu got powers from Brahmaji, he became completely autocratic and even trying to usurp the power of those who are the higher powers in the material world. He had practically no one to question. No one can question him basically. And then just he wants to do whatever he wants to do. And everyone out of fear are just surrendering to his plan of enjoying in this material world, or enjoying word does not go well, actually exploit this material world, because he's not enjoying, he's suffering. So anyway, So I gave title to this, what today we'll discuss, miserly, miserable mastership mentality. Hmm? So the mastership mentality is miserable for oneself and makes others also miserable. He thinks he's enjoying, he's trying to exploit, but he's very miserable, and he's very selfish, so he's miserly. He cannot think of his own good. Srila Prabhupada writes in Bhagavad Gita, Kripana versus Brahmana. So miserly means Kripana. So one does not know what is his own swartha also. Nate vidu swartha gatam hi Vishnu. So here Hiranyakashipu has been trying to dominate over all the higher powers like the demigods. So I don't need to show all the things here. I just extend more. You can have darshans of the Lord. So mastership mentality is actually a suffering. He got so much, practically everything, what one can dream of or not dream of. Today, no one in this world will think of controlling the demigods. Maximum, they may think, like modern fellows, they try to do something like this by, like Hiranyakashipu, if he clapped, sun came out and moon came out. They clapped, maybe the light switch was on. That's maximum they're able to do. They're making sound sensors to switch on lights and. But what he could do, none of the current Kali fellows can even think about. They may try to dominate over nature, control nature, manipulate nature, but he has just done the best of it. And he is miserable. He got so much, and then he is finished by Lord Narsingadev. In fact, Prahlad Maharaj says there that what is the use of getting anything when Narsingadev asks him that please take some benediction, do something, take something over here. He says, what is the use of taking anything here? Everything was there with my father and it's finished. So you just showed that it's useless to take anything from you. It's better to be a wonderful, loving servant. So there is nothing in achieving a great position or a Purusha role in this world. So even when he was able to control everyone, he was himself not happy and he was not even secure. He's trying to control, but when Prahlad, a small 5-year-old boy, he's just very humbly, it's not like he's trying to fight with him. He's just trying to do his own bhakti. And that itself has become such a big misery for Hiranyakashipu, that the whole world is saluting him, doing everything at his beck and call. But once 5-year-old boy just says, Nate Vidu Swarthakatim, he's just, he's singing Vishnu's glories and he's thinking of his own devotional services. He's just absorbed in his bhakti, and maybe he's also, preaching. He's preaching to his schoolmates, so that causes him a lot of trouble. So he says, this is worst life. He becomes so miserable. And he's saying, where is your power coming from? He's wanting to kill him, but he's not able to. So he's so insecure. Actually, Prahlad is supremely secure, and Hiranyakashipu is completely insecure despite having all the powers. Prahlad has no power. He has not even muscle power. Forget about all the demigods trying to do something for him. But he is so powerful. You see, Dhruv Maharaj was also so powerless that he could not sit on the lap of his father. But when he surrendered to the Lord, he became so powerful that even the demigods were, Hare Krishna, do something please, Lord Vishnu. Of course, that was a different type of austerity. Here Prahlad is completely fixed in devotional austerities. That's why it's very pleasing to everyone. But of course, Dhruva achieved the best of the life because he surrendered to the Lord. But Hiranyakashipu does not, he knows Vishnu is Lord, but he does not want to surrender. So this kind of a mastership mentality that I am the master of all, I survey. Everyone should do things according to my plan. My way is the highway. So these kind of things, when people try to get in. So I think 1 year back or so, when Achyut Mohan had come here, he had shared very beautifully on the 5 flaws of this kind of idea. So first is, what type of sufferings, 5 sufferings come when we try to do this. First is Arjan Dosh. There is a lot of hard work required to accumulate. To अर्जित करने में भी बहुत मेहनत हो जाता है So Hiranyakashipu's austerities are unparalleled. So we don't need to do all that. But he could even, he had that level of realization that he knew that Jai Shri Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandra, Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maiya, Shri Shri Gauneta ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. I don't think so. If we are doing japa, if an ant bites us, we'll leave. We'll just first we will not chant. We'll first tell at least the ant to be removed. So what to talk of being eaten by the ants, and ant hill is all over the body. But still easy because it can be taken away. It will be taken away. So there is always a sense of insecurity, and also when it goes away, there is lamentation. So Arjan dosh causes hard work, Rakshan dosh causes fear. It's born out of fear. And Shaya dosh, because it anyway goes away, even if you try to protect it, then that causes lamentation. And Bhoga dosh, even the very idea of enjoying, Yahi sansparshaja bhoga dukkha yona vete. So it brings dukkha only. So even enjoyment does not actually give that satisfaction because it's born out of exploitation. And himsa dosh, where because one is trying to exploit others and everyone is in the same mood of trying to just compete with each other to be the master of all we survey. So there is a violence to others, there is a rat race, cutthroat competition, hatred, and so much violence. Today, it's so rampant. Country versus country, religion versus religion. It's a very major. This mastership mentality is all pervading. It's Prabhupada says to lord it over the material nature. This is what the jiva is trying to do here. So he could try to control the whole universe, even demigods, but except the three Purushas. But he was simply insecure because of one small boy. So this Purusha Bhav means that I want to control people, situations, things, or control word looks sometimes, okay, I'm not trying to control, but basically everyone should, the softer way of trying to talk about it is that, if I am feeling disturbed by this person, this action, that action, so he should change, I should not, everything should move around I should be comfortable. Why I should be comfortable? Because I am the master. Like I think I shared this. One time we were going from here to Nasik, and one boy, Utkarsha boys we were taking, and boy said, Prabhuji, why there is so much rain coming? We wanted to go to Nasik. Now our bus is stranded. Why? Lord should support our going to the Nasik Dham. I said, you are the servant of the Lord, not the Lord is the servant of ours. So the idea is if rains are obstacle for me to go to office, then Tali bajao and Indra should shut off. And if I'm at office and I need water at home when I come back, so Indra, now you start raining. And if the second guy starts moving towards the office, he will again shut off Indra. So Indra has to be your servant or Lord's servant. So all this kind of idea of trying to be the dominating guy over the whole people and the things and the situations that we survey, it is Hiranyakashipu mentality. But the amazing thing is that the jiva will try, and he will only cry because he is still completely enslaved. He thinks he is controlling, but actually he is controlled. Here one personality is not mentioned as the one, like he said he could not control Shiva, Brahma and Vishnu, but one more personality he has not controlled. Huh? Okay, Prahlad is there. Okay, senses also. Yeah. So he is under the control of Durga. Everything is just going on under Durga. Durga is the master of this place. So he is controlled by the modes. His modes of passion are controlling him. The senses are controlling him because he is under the modes. So the modes are actually making him enslaved. Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha ahankara vimudatma karta aham iti manyate. Karta, bhokta, all these kind of ideas are coming because he is just based on mode of passion. Or sometimes when the passion goes to the degree that one breaks dharma, then it becomes ignorance. So the enjoying propensity of the jiva does not actually make him the supreme enjoyer. He actually just becomes more enslaved. It's like a naughty boy who's simply trying to do wrong things, so he gets more punishment by this teacher. If we become an obedient student, then we can learn and we can pass the exam and move out of the school. So this world is a school, and Durga Ma is teaching us, better be a good devotee of the Lord and go back I am the tough tuition teacher appointed by your father. But the person is a naughty guy. He does not want to. Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur gives the story of Lalu Kalu. You know, Lalu Kalu were supposed to be taught mathematics. So this teacher is trying to teach mathematics. So he says, "Can you count? Can you tell how many legs cow has?" So Lalu starts counting 1, 2, and Kalu says, "Hey, don't count. He's trying to teach you mathematics." So adamantly, decided that I will not learn. So anyway, so those who obey the plan of the Lord, they can go ahead in the devotional program, teaching, learning from the teachings, either by Mother Durga through the sufferings, or by the great Vaishnavas who teach us the right way of life and go out of this world. But mastership mentality simply makes person enslaved. His senses enslave him. He's drinking liquor. That means his senses are demanding, give me liquor, give me liquor. So the senses are actually enslaving him. So people want to control, but they're controlled. So Srila Prabhupada very regularly would share this verse from 5th canto, where Rishabdev says, Parabhavastavad abodhajato yavanna jigyasata atmatattvam yavat kriyastavadidam manovai karmatmakam yena sharira bandha. Parabhavas, Prabhupada would be regularly sharing on Parabhavas. All one's attempts are simply defeated. All the living entities trying to master or control over material nature, lord it over material nature, they are simply defeated. They may for whole life, at max, for the whole life, they may go on trying to dominate, and then they are thrown out by material nature. So, for Mrityu sarva haras chaham. Mrityu finishes if one is not finished before. If money is not taken before, then Mrityu takes it away, So, para bhavas tavad abodha jataha, yavanna jigyasata atmatattvam. As long as one does not inquire about the spiritual values of life, one is defeated and subjected to miseries arising from ignorance. So one should know this, and we can see many examples in the modern world trying to control and then finished by nature. We see example of Hitler. How much he was trying to control, so much that he made concentration camps, he tried to just exploit the Jews and finish them. And then at the end of the life, he committed suicide. He was not able even to live his normal life. He committed suicide. If someone causes troubles to others and just makes others suffer, how can he be happy? Alexander conquered from, practically countries. Wherever he went, he just conquered. But then he was conquered by a disease. He got a disease that doctors could not cure. And then in his last wishes, he said that let all my gold be thrown on the ground, let doctors carry my coffin, and let my hands be out of the coffin. So the ministers were saying, why? Because all the wealth that I accumulated over this time is back to the earth only. I can't carry a single penny, and my hands will be empty just like I came empty hand, and the doctors could not save me, although the best of the doctors are trying to treat me. So that is what people try to control, but they actually suffer. There are many so-called first world countries, as people say, first world. That itself is a nomenclature given by these first world countries only. That we are the first world. Okay, why are you the first world? Because you consider it. When Prabhupada went to one of these first world countries, Prabhupada said, I am very happy that all of you in such a remote corner of the world, from the place where Lord Chaitanya appeared, you are also chanting Hare Krishna. So he made that country, which is one of the most famous countries in the world, as a first world country, as a remote corner of the world, So, but people are proud and they think that they are dominating over everyone, But, when cyclones come, cities are finished. Meteorological department of those countries are simply saying, please vacate the city. And the whole city is finished, and then they have to reconstruct the city. So what control? Simply trying to, because people are doing cow slaughter, people are aborting children, so much of sinful activities going on. How can they be happy? Scientists are trying to find deathlessness. We can make a pill. The scientist dies trying to find that pill, Yeah. Cows, mother Go-Mata and Bhumi Devi, they're all our mothers. But there is a thorough exploitation going on. When cow stops giving milk, kill her. When Bhumi does not give fruits and whatever grains because you have exploited her beyond limit, then put fertilizers, get more. All this exploitation program. So breaking the laws of nature, trying to say that I will dominate, somehow I will control. Okay, you put fertilizer, then you get item which has no nutrition, no taste. Simply eat, kach, nothing much coming out. People, the natural program of the Lord is even animals follow that sex desire. If you execute, then after that there will be a baby. Man wants enjoyment without responsibility. Then what? So break laws of nature. Then what happens? First you abort child, you take contraceptives, and then you are also aborted in the next birth. And you will actually, such families can never be happy because they are simply exploiting. There is a law of the world. If you want to enjoy, along with it comes responsibility. Like a brahmachari also, if he is wanting the freedom of living free from the responsibility of family life, then he has to surrender to the guru. Otherwise he cannot. Then his material desires will take him out. Similarly, a grihastha, if he lives by the norms set by the Lord, then he cannot abort a child while doing sex life. So whatever, any enjoyment comes with responsibility. It's the law of nature. You break it, you can't break it. You only break, like you cannot break the law of gravitation. If you jump out of the window, you say, I don't believe in law of gravitation. Okay, you can break only your head against the law of gravity. You cannot break the law. Man and woman, they want to equate man and woman. Prabhupada, one beautiful lecture I heard recently. He's talking about this social equality and all, which people are very, very eager for. But actually woman is different, man is different. A woman can give milk to the child, a man cannot. A woman is emotionally strong, man is rationally strong. Both are important. A man should do one work and the woman should do other. And they complement each other's role, and then thus we can do a wonderful service to the world. But then when man and woman want to equate, then woman tries to be a man. And then after some time, now people have come to the point that they are frustrated with whichever gender they're changing gender only. You can't be happy with what God has given. You want to change it. Just accept the Lord's plan. But no, I want to do something different from what nature has given. You are a servant. You are a son. You are a son of Mother Nature. Accept her plan and then serve accordingly. So I want to show you one short video. How man is trying to exploit. स्पीकर जी एक्चुअली ज़्यादा वॉइस है नहीं उसमें. Hare Krishna. So this is how a man who thinks I am the master of all I survey, how he deals with everything he sees. miserable life. So this is exploitation, simply exploiting, wanting to be conquered. Yesterday's case, Radhishampu shared a beautiful class, full class was beautiful in this. There was a story his Divine Grace Bhakti Rakshakshidhar Swami Maharaj had shared. So in a village there was one lion and he was chasing a cow, and then the cow was running away from the lion, and somehow to save herself she jumped into a water body, and the lion jumped behind her. So now when she jumped into the water body, she found that there is actually it's very shallow water, and below the sand is not just sand, it's quicksand kind of sand, and she got stuck in that. And so did the lion also jumped and he also got stuck. And then the lion is a little further away from the cow. And the lion is angry. He's looking at her, and both are stuck only, but one fellow is angry, and the cow is looking very happy and cheerful. So the lion is saying, "Hey, why are you cheerful?" He is angry, but he is not able to get out of the quicksand, and he wants to eat her up. He can't do that also. And now he's like Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad, Anyway, so this lion is stuck, but cow is happy. Why? She says, I have a master. I'll just call out to my master. And then I don't know, cows are beautiful. I don't know how to do the mooing. And her master comes and pulls her out of the quicksand, and this tiger perishes. So this Purusha Bhav is useless actually. We are Prakriti. So the cow taking a master, Sanatha, she is Sanatha. A Sanatha Jivan is actually a beautiful Jivan. Prabhupada gives about a street dog versus a pet dog. A pet dog goes along with the master in the car also. In fact, these days, dogs are sometimes more privileged than the master also. The dog is going around passing stool everywhere, and the master has to pick up the stool because there is fine if you put the stool over the road in the US. So anyway, the point is, Prahlad is like Sanath. He's so satisfied, he's so secure, he's so happy because he has got the master Krishna. And Hiranyakashipu, with all that dominance over the whole creation, is completely unsatisfied. So there's a beautiful verse by Srila Yamunacharya in Stotra Kratna on Sanatha. Bhavantamevanucharan nirantara prashanta nishesha manorathantara kadahamaikantika nitya kinkara paharsharishyami sanata jivitam. By serving you constantly, evanu charan nirantara, one is freed from all the material desires and is completely pacified. Prashanta nishesha manorathantara. Kadaham aikanta nitya kinkara. When shall I engage as your permanent eternal servant? Praharsha yishyami sanata jivatam. And always feel joyful to have such a fitting master. Wow, such a beautiful verse. Sanata jivitam. So one looks for, actually one needs shelter. Jiva needs shelter. Jiva needs love. Jiva needs protection. So it comes only when we have a master. So one who thinks the tiger was having no master, it looks like he's so great and so he's doing great because he's dominating everyone, but no one is going to protect him, but the master protects actually. So another theme that we can learn from this whole subject was about how controlling mentality is suffering, or master mentality causes misery. Another important principle we can learn is about controlling others as a leader. Is it legitimate, and what is a legitimate leadership control versus a improper one? Here you see, actually he's controlling over the whole universe, but Hiranyakashipu is like a mafia don, everyone is fearful of him. Aa gaya bhaiya, No one is actually in love for Hiranyakashipu. It's like, de do bhaiya, surrender to this useless person. When Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Mam ekam sharanam vraja, the word Sharanagati is very sweet. Sometimes surrender word in the colloquial way, people sometimes, surrender on the gunpoint, So that's like Hiranyakashipu. But Lord's actually surrender to God is Sharanagati. We take shelter. We give ourselves wholesale, but that is with the sweetness of bhakti. So Hiranyakashipu is like Mafia Don. So does that mean that someone who is in the leadership role not have to control anyone, just do your own bhakti or whatever and then just go on whatever they do and not do? No, then leadership would not be proper also. So the leadership, right leadership has to have, contemplating over different acharyas and Vaishnavas and also the Shastras and especially my own masters. I have felt 4 qualities make it quite complete. First one is he should be exemplary. He should live by the standards of dharma that the great acharyas and Shastras have given. So he is himself exemplary in his practice. The second one is he should be leader who is appointed, accountable, and aligned with the Lord and superiors. A. First is E, then is A. E is exemplary, appointed, accountable, and aligned. So, unless one is appointed as a leader, one does not want to become a leader. One is leader by his qualities already. He is a leader by his example, but he does not take the position of a leader in external managerial world unless appointed. And he does not think that now I am appointed, I am be all and end all. He always knows that I am servant of my master, so I am accountable to them and I will align with them. So he always considers his masters as his personalities he has to serve. Coming to the subordinates, he is a selfless shastric servant of the subordinates. Yes, he is a selfless. He is having no selfish agenda towards the subordinates. And he is shastric. He will do good to them based on Guru Sadhu Shastra, not his whims and fancies. Not that today the world is saying this is good for life, so he will change. No, he will live by the Guru Sadhu Shastra and he will also enable Guru Sadhu Shastra principles for the subordinates and he will see that they follow it. And if they don't follow it, he has to do the needful to make them follow, and that control is proper because he is actually making them learn subordination to Guru Sadhu Shastra, not to himself. So that type of control is good. So selfless, shastric, servant. Finally, he is also servant there. He is not a master of the subordinates. And the last but not the least, and this last one, actually if the first 3 are happening, hopefully the 4th one is also there, but still it's worthy to mention is, he should also, more he develops Vaishnava qualities, more he becomes an endearing person for the subordinates, more he makes sacrifices for them. Because one thing is to be the right person in this world, another is to be the loving one who is loved by all. So more the Vaishnava qualities descend into the jiva, he becomes attractive for all the jivas. Dhira dhira jana priya priya karo. So this is actually right leadership. And in this way, he will not have a Purusha bhav, he will have a Prakriti bhav. He will be happy, others will be happy in that leadership. So I can tell about all my great masters about this for infinite time because they actually exemplify this. Real joy is in this selfless serving because the soul's need is only to love and to be loved. In fact, the Lord, though he is the real Purusha, he is the Purusha. No, everyone else is simply trying to work on it. Like when this verse is there, how does it start? Bhungte prakriti jan gunan. It starts with Purusha prakriti stohi bhungte prakriti jan gunan. So there Purusha word is used. So the acharyas are saying this Purusha is actually, Krishna is smiling there that he is trying to be Purusha. He can never be Purusha. Purusha, how can be Prakriti be Purusha? So Purusha Prakriti stohi. So what happens? Karanam guna sangasya. So he is caught up with the modes. That's what he is doing, Hiranyakashipu. So anyway, but Lord controls out of love. He controls, like Indra, he was not properly situated. So out of love for Indra, he is doing it. Whatever he did in the Govardhan Leela. He is not trying to assert himself as a person above him, as a dominating guy like a don or something. So his control is out of love, and more than that, when it comes to devotees, in this world he controls out of love, and when it comes to his devotees, he controls by love. And then he is controlled by the love of the devotees. That is Krishna. Krishna is so beautiful. When the jiva in this world wants to, I heard this point from one of my friends, Chakravarti Prabhu, he had come here only, he was speaking, that when the jiva wants to show his prabhav, then the Lord shows his prabhav. Prabhav means the influence. So one wants to show his influence, want to control, then the Lord finishes that control. The foolish attempts to control are finished. So that is the prabhav. But when one goes by the swabhav of a servant, then the Lord shows his swabhav of being subordinate to the love of the servant. Yadyapi Ishvara tumi parama swatantra tathapi swabhave hoy prema paratantra. The Lord is controlled by that love of a devotee. Although the jiva is so insignificant, but Lord is so happy to be controlled. And we see it so many leelas after leelas. But what we are every day singing Damodarashtakam, that's the personification of how Lord is controlled by the love of Mother Yashoda. So Lord is not, actually Hiranyakashipu has not created any world where he is ready to be controlled by others. So Prahlad is ready to love him, but he is not going to love him. He will dominate. Because the jiva does not have the qualities of the Lord like these qualities. Of course, the jiva who is subordinate to the Lord, he develops similar natures, but the one who is like dominating over this, they don't have this. So they can only control, and that causes fear to others. But the Lord, he actually controls. But he controls what he is controlling. He has simply made the spiritual world with one rule, that let us love. There is no rule in the world, in the spiritual world. There is only one rule, which is not a rule, it's love. Love is no rule. So that world is actually a beautiful place. And Lord and the devotee both get controlled by love. What rules supreme in that spiritual world is prema. There is no ruler. Lord gives up his godhood. Devotee anyway has given up everything about himself to serve the Lord. And prema rules. That is the beauty of spiritual world. And in this world, which is not Vaikunta but Kunta, everyone is anxiety ridden because one wants to not love the Lord, one does not want to follow the rules of the Lord, one wants to assert his enjoyership, exploiting others. So here we see in the last few verses and this verse also, how the demigods' powers are taken away, and many of the demigods are even surrendering and supplying for his pleasure. All the valleys have become the pleasure groves for Hiranyakashipu. Actually, Vrindavan Dham, or this temple, or the entire creation is a place for Lord's enjoyment. One time Prabhupada told, this matter world is for enjoyment. Devotees were excited. Oh, really? He said, not yours, Lord's enjoyment. So Vrindavan Dham is a place where everyone knows and simply does not know. They're just joyful and they're blissful in giving pleasure to the Lord. In this temple, everything is for the Lord's pleasure. The gardens, every flower is growing only for the Lord. Every fruit is growing only for the Lord. All the devotees are working hard in their services in different departments only for the Lord. So sometimes our devotees, youth who come to the temple, sometimes they ask this question in the beginning because they have not got the sweetness of bhakti ever. So they're just trying to intellectually try to work on it. So they say, why Lord did not create a separate world where I can be the top man and all that? So one time one of such devotees gave me a beautiful answer later. So we had a procession of Lord Balaji and Radha Vrindavan Chandra, and they go to every department and they see the wonderful thing, and all of us are dancing in the kirtans. And in that situation, then everyone was just dancing and happy and everyone. So at the end of that whole thing, he said, Prabhu, I can understand what's spiritual world now. Radha Krishna is in the center, and all these jivas are actually just wanting to offer pleasure to them, and they're so happy. Why have to so technically try to understand how it works? It just works. It's working. I'm happy. And devotees are happy, we are happy, the Lord is happy, everyone can be happy. So this is spiritual world. So actually, sometimes intellectually we cannot understand because the ego is too strong. When I was in the beginning, and first time I saw the Abhishek of Lord Balaji, the big Balaji deity Abhishek was going on in Kunj Bihari Mandir. So honey was being poured and milk was poured, and I was thinking, my God, so much is being put on that personality. I was my envy was strong. But I understood there is envy. So by Krishna's and Vaishnava's blessings, at least I knew that the best antidote is I should be here, sitting and seeing the glory of the Lord being worshipped. And gradually the heart gets purified when one can actually enjoy. Jai, Jai, Jai. It's so wonderful. Lord is being worshipped. So this heart needs basically purification. And then when the modes get off, it's such a joyful world. We are just joyful in the spiritual world. So when I'd gone for my sister's marriage long years back, around 20 years back, so she was wearing a very long lehenga, and 4 sisters of mine were holding a flower canopy over her head, and 2 or 4 of them were holding her lehenga. So I was thinking, this is like Radha Rani and the Ashtasakis. And she was going with the Varmala to garland my Jijaji, to be Jijaji. And everyone was happy because they are coming together, and for the marriage everyone is happy. But this is material world. They are not actually both are prakritis, and actually both have egos. All of us have egos. But that is spiritual world where Radha Krishna are together, and everyone just happy in seeing Radha Krishna together. So we just try to make a foolish imitation of the same here by trying to do that. In films they show when a man and woman are dancing, and then 10 boys and 10 girls start dancing behind them. Today, if a boy and girl start dancing, no one will come behind them because no one. You say, "Why you get out? I'll dance with that girl." Why will they dance with that? So this is basically, this place is a place of envy. When we actually have love, we are accepting the Lord. The Lord is our master, Radha Krishna. So beautiful mother, father. They have given us shelter here, so we can serve and we can be happy, and that is spiritual world. By Krishna's arrangement, I got to see some special marriages. This marriage I saw is because I was the brother of my sister, but I saw another marriage by Krishna's arrangement, which is on Akshay Tritiya in Kanchipuram. 2-3 times somehow I had a camp that time only, and I just went for the darshan of the Lord, and the marriage was going on. And Vardhara Swami and Andal. So Andal is on one side and Vardhara Swami on the other, and the pujaris bring a big garland to Balaji, Varmala, and then Vardhara Swami's garland back to Andal, and both of them then they go to Andal's father, Periyalvar, Tirumangal. I forgot the name of that Alvar. Periyalvar. And they take blessings from Periyalvar. Vardhara Swami is taking blessings. He is the Vardhara Swami, but he is actually taking blessings from Periyalvar as a married man now. And then they both are seated on a jhula, and all the devotees are doing jhula for Vardhara Swami and Andal. And everyone is happy. This is the one marriage that all brahmacharis can attend. So why not be happy in the spiritual world? So Hiranyakashipu, poor guy, he does not know. So anyway, he got delivered by the mercy of Prahlad Maharaj at least. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna. I left some time for questions for the pleasure of Vaishnavas. Is there a mic for Prabhu?
Much Prabhu for such a wonderful, miserable mastership mentality. Thank you very much for that explanation. My question is about, you brilliantly said 4 qualities of leader. So in that there is one about one who is appointed, one who is accountable and aligned. So when it comes to aligned, how we see that when Prabhupada said that he wanted university, what is it? Unity in diversity. Because it's easier said than done. This alignment, what we talk about, because we have to align with Krishna.
Yeah,
there's so much variety.
The acronym that I made is EASE. Exemplary, accountable, and servant, selfless servant, and then endearing to the subordinates by Vaishnava qualities. But then it's not easy.
Yeah, so can you please throw some light, because earlier mentalities many of us are trying to give up, and many of the glorious devotees have given up what you spoke. So can you spoke something which about how do we align actually to having unity in diversity in serving Radha Vandana and Chandra as a big community with so many varieties of diversities and skills and talents. Can you speak about that?
Hare Krishna. I think Revati Dipu can try to share on that subject of diversity, how he makes everything happen so sweetly. He accommodates for everyone and he knows how to share also the principles. But I'll say my part. So, to know that it is going to be diversity is also part of alignment. If we think that it should all be one, then we are not in Bhakti paradigm, we are in Mayavad paradigm. So first of all, to accept that there will be a diversity is very important. And Prabhupada did not say that there will be no diversity. Prabhupada said, if you want to show your love for me, you cooperate. He's not saying that you should have only one opinion. So opinions will be multiple, and by sincerely seeing the good intent of the devotee in trying to share his opinion, trusting his sincere service attitude, we can try to at least hear that opinion with respect. We may not agree, but we have to respect, you know. So when we respect devotees, we live with etiquettes, and we together can try to learn. Maybe there are pros and cons of every opinion, and maybe we can come up with the best opinion by seeing what are the pros of every opinion, because there is sometimes you can take the best of everything and then make something new, you know. Like Radheshambhu gives the example of one devotee is saying that this sumo is for Jivdaya department, but the other was saying, no, I have to go for my preaching program. But it comes out to be that the Jivdaya needs it in the morning and preaching department needs in the evening, so one can come up with a common program. So sumo does not need to be possessed, but it can be accessed by everyone in a harmonious way. So when we live with trust and respect for others, we can actually find out means to reconcile at, and Krishna has to empower also. We have to do our sadhana nicely, live humble. Then we can. This is my humble answer to your question. Thank you, Prabhus. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Damodarashtakam. Hare Krishna.
Hare.
Hare Krishna. Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam Lasatkundalam Gokule Bhrajamanam Yashodhabiyolukhalabdhavamanam Paramrushtamattantato Drutya Gopya Rudantam muhunetra yugmam rujantam Karam bhoja yugmena santaka netram मुहुश्वासकम्पत्रिरेखाङ्ककण्ठ स्थितग्रैव दामोदरं भक्तिबद्धाम् इति दृक्स्वलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वहर्षं निमज्जन्तम् आख्यापयन्तम् तदीयेषु तज्ञेषु भक्तिर्जितत्वं पुनः प्रेमतस्तं शतवृत्ति वन्दे परं देवमोक्षं न मोक्षावधिं वा न चान्यं वृणेऽहं वरेशादपिह इदं ते पूर्णार्थगोपालबालं सदा मे मनस्या विरस्तं किमन्ये इदं ते मुखाम्भोजम् अत्यन्तनीलै घृतं कुन्तले स्निग्धरक्तैश्च गोप्या मुहुःसिंहितं बिम्बरक्तधरं मे मनस्या विरास्तामलं लक्ष्यलाभे नमो देव दामोदरनन्त विष्णो प्रसीद प्रभो दुःखजालाभिमग्ना कृपादृष्टिवृष्ट्यादिदीनं बतानु द्रोहमेष मामज्ञमेध्यदीदृशा कुबेरात्मजो बद्धमूर्तैव यद्वत् त्वया मोचितो भक्तिभजकृतो च तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकाम्ये प्रयच्छ न मोक्षे ग्रहो मेऽस्ति दामोदरेह नमस्तेस्तु धाम्ने स्फुरद्युतिधाम्ने त्वदीयोदरायाध विश्वस्य धाम्ने नमो राधिकाय त्वदीयप्रियायै नमो नन्दलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम् नमामि ईश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले भ्रजमाना यशोदाभिलोकलब्धवमानं परामृष्टमत्यन्ततो दृप्यगोप्या Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Jaya Radha Damodar Radha Damodar Radha Damodar Radha Jai Shri Shri Damodarashtakam ki Jai Satyavrat Muni ki Jai. इधर कौन सा देखो मेरा पूरा पसीना पसीना हो गया To the Supreme Lord, whose form is the embodiment of eternal existence, knowledge and bliss, whose shark-shaped earrings are swinging to and fro, who is beautifully shining in the divine realm of Gokula, who, due to the offense of breaking the pot of yogurt that his mother was churning into butter and then stealing the butter that was kept hanging from swing, is quickly running from the wooden grinding motor in fear of Mother Yashoda, but who has been caught from behind by her, who ran after him. With a greater speed to that Supreme Lord, Sri Damodar, I offer my humble obeisances. Seeing the weeping stick in his mother's hand, he is crying and rubbing his eyes again and again. With his two lotus hands, his eyes are filled with fear, and the necklace of the pearls around his neck, which is marked with 3 lines like a conch shell, is shaking because of his quick breathing due to crying. To this Supreme Lord Sri Damodar, whose belly is bound not with ropes, but with his mother's pure love, I offer my humble obeisances. By such childhood pastimes as this is drowning the inhabitants of Gokula in a pools of ecstasy, and is revealing to those devotees who are absorbed in knowledge of his supreme majesty and opulence that he is only conquered by devotees whose pure love is imbued with intimacy and is free from all conceptions of awe and reverence. With a great love, I again offer my obeisances to Lord Damodar hundreds of times. O Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for the boon of impersonal liberation, nor the highest liberation of eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon which may be obtained by executing the nine processes of bhakti. O Lord, I simply wish that this form of yours as Bal Gopal in Vrindavan may ever be manifest in my heart, for that is the use to me of any other. For what is the use of to me of any other boon besides this? O Lord, your lotus face, which is encircled by the locks of soft black hair, tinged with red, is kissed again and again by Mother Yashoda, and your lips are reddish like the bimba fruit. May this beautiful vision of your lotus face be ever manifest in my heart. Thousands and thousands of other benedictions are of no use to me. O Supreme Godhead, I offer my obeisance unto you. O Damodar, O Ananta, O Vishnu, O Master, O my life, be pleased upon me by showering your glance of mercy upon me. Deliver this poor ignorant fool who is immersed in an ocean of worldly sorrows and become visible to my eyes. O Lord Damodar, just as two sons of Kuver, Manigiriv and Nalkuver were delivered from the curse of Narada and made into great devotees by you in your form as a baby tied with rope to a wooden garden and grinding mortar. In the same way, please give me your own prema bhakti. I only long for this and have no desire for any kind of liberation. O Lord Damodar, I first of all offer my obeisances to the brilliantly effulging rope which binds your belly. I then offer my obeisances to your belly, which is the abode of the entire universe. I humbly bow down to your most beloved Srimati Radharani, and I offer my obeisances to you, the Supreme Lord, who displays unlimited pastimes. Damodar Bhagavan ki jai.